Hey guys, so welcome back to the V22 VTOL project. So if y'all didn't see part 4, that was the last part. This is part 5. So part 4, what I did was the tail section right there. But now I'm gonna be working on the final piece of the fuselage, which is the nose. Well, I mean, it's not just the nose; it's the whole like front end cockpit and everything. So I printed off some templates right here. Front view, a top-down view, and a side view, but the side view is going to be the most important here. So if y'all see, it fits right there perfectly to scale. So I'm going to be making this in today's video. So also, in the meantime, all this, I've been working on the tilt rotor mechanisms. I mean, I only have one on here, but you can see it right there. There's a servo hooked up onto one of these gears, and it's just gonna tilt forward and back. So yeah, I'm gonna print out the other side, but basically this is what I've been doing with the tilting mechanism. I got these herringbone style gears, aka double helical herringbone. They're kind of the same thing, but I use these gears because they self-center. So yeah, but this is not completely done. I need to print out some stoppers so that this doesn't just fall off. Even though it's self-centers, we just want to be safe. We don't want the whole motor popping off or anything. So I'm gonna print out one on this side, one on that side. And also this is the version 2 of the side pod mechanism, tilt rotor mechanism. So the first version didn't work because it had a lot of, it was like wiggling a lot, and like whenever you would tilt it back up from forward, it would get stuck. So this is the second version, and successfully it actually works completely good. As you can see, it doesn't bind or anything, it doesn't get stuck. So yeah, that's what I've been working on in the meantime. But also I need to cut out the ailerons. Now on the real V22 they use flaperons, but I don't have enough channels to do flaperons, so yeah, it's gonna be unfortunate. It's gonna be regular ailerons. So instead of being the full span, I'm probably making like a little bigger than halfway, because we don't need super huge ailerons on this. It's a rather small plane I'm making, just a 1 meter wingspan. So let's get started on the front end. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark where I need to cut this, because I'm gonna make the nose one part and then the rest a second part, because making a curve from here to here and like that's a lot of work, and I don't know how good it will look. So yeah, basically what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna cut off just the front of the nose, and I'm gonna make this separate, because this doesn't really curve a lot. It's rather flat. As you can see, it just chop off right here at the front of these windows, and this is just a slight curve, inward curve, but if you see, the rest of this is really curved in. So yeah, front view, I don't really need that. That's just was a reference to see how the fuselage shape is. So yeah, let's get started on that. So what I'm gonna do is gonna mark where I need to cut this. So as you can see here, let me put y'all like right here. Gonna go right to the end of the window, the front window. Try to make it as square as possible, and then we're just gonna cut. I'm just gonna cut it with my knife. Oh my god, my knife is not sharp. Let me break off a new tip. Okay, cut off a new tip on this knife. So I like these utility / box cutter knives. You can if they ever get dull, you can just cut off a new tip. But there's the separate part that I'm gonna make separate. This is gonna be one piece, Because this slope right here, that should be easy enough to make. But going from this slope back up, that's gonna be kind of weird. So the more segments I make it, technically the more detailed it will be. But I don't need it super detailed, because if you see, the fuselage is looking pretty good there. Check that out in part 4. Part 2, 3, and 4 is where I did that. So yeah, let's get started on this. So first thing I'm gonna do is probably cut out like a face, kinda like this. Cut out a piece of this shape, and then get a piece of foam this thick and wrap it around that. So I think that will work, because if you think about it, it's the foam is gonna wrap around this, and it's gonna take the fuselage shape, because this, it doesn't start curving in until like probably like here. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so yeah, there it is. The first former is what I'm gonna call them, formers, because they form the foam, I guess. Anyways, this should be nice and square. Shouldn't be sideways or something. Yeah, it looks about right. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna cut out a piece of foam this width. And basically, as you can see, this is the same height, because it's the same scale. And basically, I'm just gonna wrap this around like that and stuff. So hopefully that will work. I hope it will. And then I'll probably add a second one right about here, from where the windshield starts down to here. Cause you see right here, the nose curves up from the bottom a little bit, like this. So right about here is where it starts curving up. So I'll add another one right there. So now, ooh, I don't know if this is enough material, because this needs to wrap all the way around, you know? I don't think this is enough. Let me get, well, first I should cut out all the formers, and then I'll see if I mean, obviously I'm not gonna have enough here, so let me make another cut, like right here. Only problem with this is I'm seeing is that it starts curving down here, but the windshield starts curving more back. The windshield is like a gradual curve. It's not like a super sharp curve. Because I want something supporting the windshield where it's gonna curve. Unless I make it angle, but if I make it angle, I'm gonna have to see where and how much this angle is. So I don't want to do none of that. And also, I don't want to add one foamer here, another one here, and another one here, because that's just going to be too many. It's going to be heavy. And also, I need to make this into a battery hatch. You know, because where's the battery going to go in? So I need to think about that too. So, because if I make one former here, the windshield is gonna want to curve down here, not up here. Or actually, no, I think this will work. If I just make a slight crease in the thing where the windshield needs to start curving down. I mean, it's not really a crease, it's just a smooth curve. So if I make this former shorter to where the window is. So let's see, how big is this? This one needs to be about 14 centimeters, 140 millimeters tall. This one is about 158 millimeters by, oh yeah, I also have to make them smaller in the width dimension too, because as you can see, nose curves in, so I have to make them smaller this way, width wise and height wise. Anyways, that's fine that I have a lot of formers on the bottom, because I'm thinking of putting like a flat piece of foam on the bottom where the battery's gonna sit, because that's how I usually make all my foam board plane battery trays. They're just a flat piece of foam with like a piece of Velcro mounted to some sort of mount. So it's gonna be one former here, one here, one here. The nose itself shouldn't be too much of a problem, since I'm gonna do that separate. So let's worry about this. So let me cut out another former thing, but with a less height dimension. So let me trace this out. So just like this, it curves. So what did I say, 140, right? 140 millimeters? Yeah. So 140 millimeters, I'm gonna shrink this down. Oh, I forgot, I also have to compensate for the width, not just the height. So that is the new height of the second former. So I don't know if this is to scale, guys, because this is because if you look at it, this is supposed to be a square, and technically this width should be the same as this width, right? So look at this, I think I printed it out at the wrong scale. Look, it has like a whole, like, I line it up, look, from here to here, that's like 30 millimeters extra. So let me reprint this to the right scale. I don't think this is the right scale, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure this is not the right scale, because even if you put it on the fuselage, look at the width. I'm lining it up on this side, has about 20-ish millimeters extra width. So let me reprint this out in a smaller scale, and then I'll be back. So I reprinted it out, and I think this is the right scale now, so let's check. It should be the same width as this template and the fuselage. So let's check. Width, that checks out on the template. Or actually, let me cut it out, because it's a little too long. So this is where I actually cut off the fuselage. So I need to match this. Match this to that. How am I gonna do that? It's about where, like, a little bit, it's like halfway from the window taper, where the window tapers from. Now, I don't know why one window is more forward than the other. That is kind of weird. I think I printed out. Why is it look like this is bigger? We can also check like this. I can also check like this. Okay, so what? This is interesting. I think I printed out too small. Or I don't know. What is going on? What is going on? Did I print this out at the right scale? Let me just check on the fuselage. Yeah, it lines up perfectly. Look at that. Oh, well, I'm just gonna trust this. Hope it doesn't come out like wobbly. I mean, not wobbly, like deformed or something. You know, guys, I don't want a deformed cockpit and nose. Or do I? Just checking again. Actually, no, I think it is the right scale. Yeah. So, let's get rid of that. Anyways. So what I was saying is, for some reason, if you line up the nose here, technically these should be the same length, right? And they are pretty much the same. Okay, so if we take a measurement of how far forward this is, where I make this second cut at, where the fold is, it's about 60 millimeters on the dot, where it starts curving up. So if we go to 60 millimeters forward from here on this template, we move it up, that gives us our mark right there. So right here, and then let's do it on this side too. So you see those marks are made right there and there. That's 60 millimeters from the back of the paper. So now we need to take a measurement of this width, and that will give us the width that we need to make this. So let's see, how wide is this? I measure from the inside, guys, so it's about 130 millimeters. So it's 10 millimeters less. Actually, no, I don't know what the other one is, but we go to 130 and we make our mark right there. And then I'll trace that out to a straight line. So as you can see, that is the new size of this is the, see the outer ring? So you see that outer ring right here? This is the old template. I mean, not the old one, the first one. This inner one is the second one. So let's just round the corners off of that, so it looks nice and smooth. Just make some round corners. It's just a rough estimate. And boom, that's gonna be something like that. So let's cut it out. Cutting it out now. There it is. Alright, here it is, guys. It doesn't look that much smaller, but it feels a lot smaller for some reason. That's kind of weird. Anyways, let me round off these corners now. So just gonna round these corners out so we have a nice smooth fuselage. Oh, forgot one corner. Alright, there we go. There it is. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. So see the change in size? These are gonna be spaced out 6 millimeters. 60, 60. Wait, is it 60 or 60? It should be from here to the bend. 60, yeah. Well, it cannot even be 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters will be like this. So 60 millimeters on front. And it should be centered or aligned in the middle. The middle of this should be aligned with the middle of this. It shouldn't be like the bottom of this are lined up. No, it should be perfectly centered, and we're gonna space them out, and that's gonna give us the curve, the curvature. So now let's make the last one, which is gonna be on the front. On the front right here. Right here where the nose is gonna connect, the rest of the nose. So let's take some measurements. Alrighty, so this is gonna be, technically we just take the width of this paper, or where I cut it at, which is 95 millimeters. So let's take this template. Let's go, well actually let me take the height. The height is about 87 millimeters. So I'm gonna just write that down here. Height 87. Width 87 height, and it's 95 millimeters forward. So we're gonna go 95 millimeters forward from this template, and it should be right on the dot. So I'm making a mark at 95 millimeters. 95 millimeters each side. So I marked it on the inside this time, right there, and whoa, whoa, whoa! Do you see that? Technically, this is where the window ends, on here. Check this out. If I draw a straight line from each 95 millimeter mark, look at that. That line is like a whole 10 millimeters behind the front of the window. What's going on? I think I might have. Wow, that doesn't make sense though, guys. Because if you look at the fuselage, the width is perfectly correct. So that means that this is at the wrong height. No, because this also perfectly checks out. Maybe I printed this out at the wrong. No. What's going on here, guys? Maybe this whoever designed this whatchamacallit, whoever designed this template diagram of the V-22 Osprey, maybe they did it wrong, the top view, Oh, what if the top view's at an angle? Well, I don't think they would do that. That's for a diagram. It should be perfectly perpendicular, the camera angle. So what do I do, guys? Do I take this measurement width, or do I take the measurement width from the end of the windows? Let's see, where does this end up if I line the two noses up? Yeah, it lands right on that line. Oh, well, I guess let's just take this measurement from behind where the windows end. Alright, so if we look at it, it's about, I would say, I can't get the paper flat. There we go. The inner diameter, width, whatever. That's about 118 millimeters. 118 millimeters width. 118 millimeters width, so that means that now we're getting into like some weird territory, guys. Because this piece, it looks almost square, like a perfect square. The first one is taller than it is wide. So now this next one's gonna be wider than it is tall. So I guess let's mark it out, how it's gonna look. So it might look kind of weird. Don't y'all think so? Cause like, wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, never mind. This is 130. I was about to say, how's it gonna get wider? Forgot the measurement. I thought the width of this was 87 because I wrote 87 on it, but that's for this. That is my bad, guys. Oopsies. Alright, so we're gonna make this way up and down height. So it has a height of 87 millimeters. So we're gonna go to 87 millimeters. 87. Right there, and then we're gonna go to width 118. 118. So we're gonna go 11, and then we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which will be right there. And now we draw a line straight from here to there. I mean, not straight up. We need to make this line perpendicular, hopefully. Right there looks about good. Wow, this one is gonna be small. Anyways, trying to make this as square as possible. There it is, guys. This is how tall it is. This is how wide it is. So that's kind of weird. Also, how do I know how much to curve these corners? Because I have a front view, but like, yeah, it's not that detailed, as you can tell. Anyways, let's just cut this out and I'll figure out the curve later. So I don't really need to use a ruler here since this is so small. I can cut the line myself and it'll be straight enough. So there it is. So this is gonna go like this. This is gonna be more bottom because the window needs to go down. So if we spread these out, I mean, I can't really do it that good with my two hands. So actually, oh my god, something like that. You can see that it's a big step down. That's because of the window. Window curves down. So hopefully once we do that, the window will curve down. and I can see how much it needs to. Well, actually, I know that this one needs to be in the center of this one, so yeah, but this is not gonna be in the middle like this. It's gonna be more down. But how much exactly, I can check that by, if I take like a straight piece of paper and align it to the bottom, I can measure this little bitty thing. It's about 10 millimeters. So this last piece needs to be 10 millimeters up from the bottom from where it is gonna be. So this is gonna be 10 millimeters here. This one should be in the middle perfectly. So that's about like 6 or 7 millimeters. And then this is gonna be all the way up at 10. There's gonna be something somewhere around there. It's just an estimation. So this is gonna be a really big part. So let's do it. I need to get a new piece of foam board. I have only one piece left, guys. So who knows if it's gonna be enough to make this, to make the rest of the whole plane? Cause I mean, I think it should, because technically I'm done. You see, I have the whole fuselage done. Part 4. Did the tail section, the side pod where the landing gear go in there. Now this fuselage is pretty big for a 1 meter plane. But yeah, I did the curve up. Got the rear end here with the rudders. Really nice looking rudders. And then I even got the servo installed already for the elevator. You can see that moves. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. You can see the tapes I put on there. So yeah, that's the V22 fuselage. Now let's do the front end. Also, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna use too much material to somehow attach this wings onto the top, because these need to go on top. They don't go in through the thing on the real V22. But that's for another part, not this part. So let me get the new piece of foam board. This is the last one I have, guys. Literally the last one. I don't have any more. But if I do run out, I can just go buy some more, because these are just, each one is just $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Oh no, why is it messed up? I must have put it on top of something, but that's okay. If anything, I'll just make that face inwards. Oopsies, I'm ripping this sticker. Face sticker's gone. So I'm gonna make all of this one piece of foam. Remember, guys, I said that it's gonna be one piece of wrapped around all 3 of these. And also, I should see how I'm gonna, am I going to space these out, I guess you could say. How am I gonna hold these former things like this without anything? How am I gonna hold them out like this and make sure that they're aligned? I guess I'll just put like piece of foam in the middle like this, in between each one of them or something. Also, I don't know if this amount of roundness is correct, so I'm gonna go look at another, maybe even a real picture of it. So yeah. Alright guys, so I'm looking at this other diagram of it, the V22 Osprey front view. And this one better illustrates the curves. So let me get my pointer pen out here. If you can see the curve that the windows take. Whoa. And at the bottom, this curve, and the nose curve. So yeah, I'm just gonna adjust all of these pieces that I have to make it look at least something similar to this. Alright guys, so I have shaved down the formers to the right shape, I believe, or close enough. So this is the first one. I didn't change anything about it because this is gonna sit right on top of where the fuselage already is. Here's the second one. You see that new shape? It's more, I shaved a little bit like this on each side, and on the top shaved a little bit inwards like that, because that's how it goes. And the last one where the window ends, as you can see, I made it, it's almost like an oval kinda. So hopefully this will work. And yeah, also, so to hold this together, I'm gonna be using skewers, some skewer sticks, 4, and hopefully this will help put these formers together, hold them together. So let me get the hot glue gun fired up and I'll do that. So while the hot glue gun is heating up, I'm drilling these holes into the foam so that I can stick these skewers in, and it'll be all lined up like that. So then I'm gonna make another hole somewhere about here probably. Oh no, I mean, actually, it does matter if they're lined up. I mean, they need to be like, how do you call it? Parallel, right? They can't just be all messed up, because then the thing is not gonna line up. Okay, so I drilled all these holes now. So I should be able to just stick these skewers in. Oh my god, I drilled that one so like bad. Okay, so now it's better. So as you can see, I have 4 barbecue skewers. You see? Alright, so I glued on that little thingy onto the first former, and as you can see, it's working pretty good. And I cut these to the exact length that this is going to be, so I'm gonna need to mark them at like wherever the second former needs to be, because I don't know where it's gonna be exactly. At least not right now. So yeah. So how about I just take these formers out, and then I just line this up roughly where it's gonna be. I mean, not roughly, exactly where it's gonna be, which is about there. So I'm gonna hold this together, and then I'm gonna drill the holes, and it should line up, hopefully. And then I'll put one to hold that together. As you can see, that's one hole done. And it seems to be right about where it needs to be. So I'm gonna hold that one there. And then I'm gonna need to hold it really tight because I don't want this moving. Maybe I should just tape it just for now, right? Alright, so I'm pretty sure I'm holding it tight enough. Alright, I drilled the other hole. And now you have two sticking out. Alright guys, so I've put the templates, I glued them onto all of these. On this one I put it on actually both sides because the middle one, the end I put one and the other end I put one too. So if I put these skewers in, technically everything should just line up properly. Technically it should. I don't know if it actually will though. So this goes on here like this. I think, wow, this is really complex. Maybe I should glue it in. Glue it in first, right? I don't even know what's going on. Why is it? Alright, so this goes like this. You'll see that. This goes in here, across to that one. And this one goes across to this, and then this one goes across to this one. Why is this hole blocked? Chill it out again. There we go. Now it worked. Y'all see those two formers? They're pretty much perfectly aligned. No worries. Now let me put the one on the back. This was tricky. But there we go. Got it. I just barely got it. Alright, so now I'm gonna glue these in place, and then it should just like, so there you go, something like that. I need to move this middle one more back, but as you can see from the front view, oh, it's kind of twisted, but something like that. And the side profile view, I need to move this back, so let me do that. I'm just gonna move this to like the middle. It's actually not exactly in the middle. It's more like, there we go. Much better now, right? So basically this is just gonna go onto the front of the fuselage here, like that, and that's gonna be the nose. You see that? Boom. Yeah, so I'm just gonna align these things up now, guys, and then I'm gonna glue it permanently, and then I'm gonna glue it. I mean, I don't know if I should glue it onto the fuselage yet, because after I dropped it. Anyways, after I form the shape of the the front, the nose, I'm gonna need to like cut like half of it off so I can turn it into a hatch so that I can access the battery and the electronics and stuff, the receiver. So yeah, that's gonna be after I form it, because I'm gonna form it first. So let's do it. Alright guys, the hot glue gun should be heated up now, so I can glue these thingies in permanently. So I will take that out, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue in each of these holes. Now I'll reattach these skewers onto there, just like this. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna press it onto the table to make sure that they're all the way down. Right there. Right there. Pressing them down to make sure that they are actually down. We can take this secondary one off. I mean, not off, but lift it off the ground. So yeah, if you look at the back here, wow, that came out pretty nice actually. So let me do the second one, and the second one I'm just gonna, how should I do the second one? Oh, I need to let me get a marker so I can mark how far forward from this one I need to put the secondary one, because I think it was 60 millimeters or something. I don't know. Let me see. I have the measurement right here in millimeters. Yeah, it was 60 millimeters. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure from here 60 millimeters, but I'm gonna subtract 10 because I have 2 sheets of these foam board and each one is 5. So I need to measure from this sheet of foam board 50 millimeters. 50. Because 60 minus 10 is 50. So let me get my marker and mark that. Okay, so as you can see, I made little dots on each one. And whoopsies, the darker dot there. Each dot is at 50 millimeters height, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of glue, a little bit in front of it. A little bit in front of the 50 millimeter mark, because by the time I push the thing on, it's gonna go down. The glue's gonna go like inside. Alright, so now just put these holes in like that. And then, ooh. Uh-oh. The glue started to dry, but right about there, 60 millimeters. Each one should be 60 millimeters apart. I'll take my caliper. It's a little more than 60. Oh, the glue's barely not dry. Alright, now, oh, pushed it in too much. Bring it back out. There you go. Alright, that's exactly 60 millimeters out. So they are very nice and straight. I'll put some more glue on the top. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll put the last one. It's dry now, so these two are permanently fixed like that. So there you go. Now we need to just do the last one. So should I put a little bit of glue here, 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 and in here. Okay, so now we're just gonna put this last one on top. Whoa. Oh, we got a slight problem now here, boys. This hole's like they shifted somehow. Oh no. Why are these holes like that? I'm gonna have to drill these holes out again. Okay, so I redid the hole for the last one, but it's on there as you can see. And yeah, pretty lined up, looking good to me. Maybe a little bit twisting this way, but technically, if we check this out, if you look at this template, technically if we look at it like straight down, like this, if we align this here, it should technically line up with the points on here. So I'm trying to line it up. It doesn't seem to want to align. There we go. So let me get the camera. If you look from straight up, technically everything seems to line up pretty good. So all I need to do now is get a piece of foam board and curve it down these sides. So my original plan was to curve one piece of foam board around here, this whole thing, but I don't think that's gonna work, seeing this how steep this step is for the windshield. So what I'm actually gonna do instead, I think, is I'm gonna do one thing wrap around here, and then I'll do the windshield separate, and then I'll wrap this. What do you think about that, guys? Because this from here to here is not that big of a step. It's just this, maybe it's kind of weird, but it's not as huge as a step as this. So I guess I'll just I'll measure the distance between these two. I'll cut out a strip of foam and I'll wrap it around here like that. So let's do that. Okay guys, so I finally finished it, and here it is. I mean, it's not completely done. I still need to do that part, but it's really late now, guys, and I have school tomorrow, so unfortunately I have to end the video here, and I'll do the rest on another part. So yeah, sorry guys, but this is what I got done tonight, and basically this is right here would be the windshield, where the windshield will go. Look at the side profile. Does it look similar? Maybe this top side is slanted down a little bit much, but this doesn't have to be perfect, right guys? I mean, the rest of the plane looks really nice, so it's just gonna go on like this. Does that look like it? Like it's good? I think it does look pretty good to me. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. This is part 5, and that's it for today, guys. Bye, guys.